The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It's Monday, October 13th. I'm Nick Eatman, and let's talk about the Cowboys Panthers. It's a bad one. It was not a good one. There's no other way to really say it. Cowboys fall 30-27 at the final play of the game. The defense, unfortunately, the defense kind of does what it does, and that's the bad part of this thing after 6 games is that that really was no different than what we've seen. You thought maybe it might be better based off of the opponent, and when I say the opponent, I'm talking about the quarterback, Bryce Young, who was, statistically the worst quarterback in the league going into the game, and you allowed him to be comfortable enough and run the ball with Rico Dowdle, and he told you what he was going to do. They said they were going to run it, and they did, and they kept doing it, and it was 6 yards and 7 yards and 8 yards and 14 yards and 6 yards, and they just drove down and won the game. So wasted a great opportunity for the Cowboys offense. Offense played well, not well enough, because they had their issues at the worst times, and Cowboys fall 30-27. They are now 2-3-1. Gross. All right, let's go to the phone calls. Dylan, Northport, Florida. What's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going, bro?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. So first things first, shout out to Joe from Lincoln Park. I was talking with him on Twitter, wanted to shout out. And just like Lincoln Park once said, I've become so numb to this defense. The defensive failures, it's not shocking really at this point. It's almost expected. They're imploding, and I think that it's getting to the point, not that it's going to make a difference, but I think a move probably is coming at some point here, maybe on this DC. Maybe you get some improvement with like moving White Cotton up as the interim. But if you're firing coaches midseason, that's not indicative of success. That's just trying to not lose a locker room typically. So I don't really expect much to change in the defense. And I see a lot of talk about trades, but this team is more than one player away. Go trade for a big time DE that's going to cost you a first round pick plus. You're not going to have a big difference on defense. This thing's it's not solvable. There's not a light at the end of the tunnel for this season, unfortunately. This is what it is, bro. I mean, that's all it is. It is what it is.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you for the call. Not the one I wanted to start the show, but that's the way it is. That's the reality, and it is 6 games. I'm glad there are 11 more. But that's kind of where we stand. Dylan, I don't agree with you on all of those points, but some of them are the case, and but you can fix things. I mean, you can. If your offense wasn't good, then this is not gonna be a good situation. But you can, because your offense is good, and they're going to be even better here in this week, and when you get some of these guys back, then you can fix it. I'm not saying it's going to be a top 10 defense. You don't need a top 10 defense. So that's why I disagree with you that the defense can get better. And then if the defense gets a little bit better, think about that. If the defense got just 1 inch better, every game they didn't give up this touchdown or this field goal, this touchdown was actually turned to a field goal. You could make the case that they beat the Giants in regulation. They beat the Packers in regulation. They win this game. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not going to sit here and say like, nah, it's not salvageable. Well, because it can be. You can get better, and if you get better combined with this offense, then they can win some games. But they got to get a lot better on defense. And that's just not what we're seeing right now. Chris in Saratoga Springs.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good.
Defense, you're 100% right. They got to get better, no doubt about it. It starts a little bit in the offseason. I was a big believer in Dre Greenlaw, getting him in here, and we went with Sanborn and Murray instead. And I think we're struggling right now in the middle. for sure. I mean, I know we're going to get help with Demo comes back. It's going to be a huge help with him coming back, but our linebackers aren't playing great. My main concern yesterday about that game, and you can comment on it, is 4th and 3, and Bland's playing 6-7 yards off the ball for that easy completion. Can you please tell me why we would be playing a defense like that on 4th and 3? It just doesn't make any sense to me at all on that call.
No.
So if you can just touch on that part of it, I would appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. I can't. I mean, thanks for the call, but I can't because simple math says if you're 7 yards off the ball and you only need 4th and 4, but then it's going to be close to get up there and make the play. I mean, who cares if he goes 20? Let him go. Let him go 20 yards. See if the quarterback can complete it to him 20 yards down the field. He's averaging 5. That's the worst part. When going into this game, that Bryce Young was averaging 5.8 yards per reception, which was the worst in the league for starting quarterbacks. And in this game, he was like 8.5 or so, which that's a respectable number. And so, and that's the thing. I mean, his quarterback rating was 79.9, and then in this game it was like 114. So, that's the problem that we're seeing is we're seeing this defense make quarterbacks look way better than they are. Justin Fields even looked way better. I mean, look what he did yesterday against Denver, but he didn't play great against the Cowboys, but he put up some numbers there late. Caleb Williams playing way better than he has all season when he was with the Cowboys. Russell Wilson isn't even a starter. He turns back the clock on you and scores 37 points. I mean, so it's bad. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And to lose to that team, in the fashion that they did, it shows that they have to figure out what those changes are going to be, whether there be scheme changes, whether they're personnel changes, coaching change, whatever they are. You need to do, and you need to do a couple of them. You need to do a lot of them, and you don't have a lot of time. You got to get this going. I mean, Washington's coming to town. Washington's, maybe they're not as good as they were last year. Who knows? But they're still pretty good, and they still got, Jaden Daniels is healthy, and Dan Quinn wants to come here and win. So there's no doubt about it. It's not gonna be easy. All right, let's go. Jr. Avondale, Arizona. Jr.
Good morning, Nick. How are you doing?
All right.
Good. So I can start with some happy news. Saturday was my daughter's birthday, my youngest daughter, and she got engaged on the same day, so we're happy about that. Got a new son-in-law coming in the family.
All right.
So Saturday was a great day, and then there was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, we can sit there and talk about the defense. It's what everyone's going to be talking about. I just don't think you can. I think that me looking at the scheme, I understand what the scheme is. I see what they're trying to do. I just don't think you have the players to play what he wants to play, if that makes any sense. I mean, Diggs has always been a man-to-man corner. In Alabama, when they switched him to corner, Saban plays man-to-man. And that's where Deron Bland is the best. I don't think those guys can do that. Donovan Wilson is a box safety. You can't ask Donovan Wilson to cover and make decisions. He wants to sink. He wants to jump that crosser. He wants to go make an interception. He wants to go hit somebody. And guys are running by him. But you can't just change all these people. So Eberflus has to adjust what he's doing, and that's my opinion. But I want to know, when does Schottenheimer go down there and tell him, stop the run? Do whatever you got to do to stop the run. I didn't see them load the box. I didn't see them run blitzing. They just kept doing the same thing over and over. So I think Eberflus has to very quickly just rinse and clean out what he's got doing and try to run a different kind of defense.
Yep.
And now, as the offense goes, I love Brock Hoffman and T.J. Bass, but I think you saw yesterday going against Brown and Ashawn Robinson. That's why they're backups. I thought they got manhandled. I thought they got bullied. And our running game just got stuffed right at the beginning.
All right. Thanks for the call, JR. Appreciate that. Let's keep it going. You're right about the offensive line. Those guys did get manhandled. I think we saw why Carolina didn't want to let go of Derek Brown. It's a pretty good player. And if that's rumors are true and reports are true that, Brown was the guy the Cowboys were looking at. If there was going to be a trade to Carolina for Micah, Derek Brown was the one, and the Carolina didn't want to do that. So, and we kind of see why. But yeah, I mean they miss Booker. I mean Booker gives them strength, even though he's a rookie. He still gives them this interior strength that certainly could have been used yesterday. And I was kind of on the fence with Hoffman and Beebe. I still am a little bit. They coaches know they know who's a better player, and so they that's why Beebe has won the job now 2 years in a row. So he obviously is. I mean, I don't see that a lot, but as far as the big difference there, but man, yesterday was a challenge. They just couldn't run it at all. And as for the defense and Eberflus and what you said, I agree that. To me, I've always been told the best coaches are the ones that fit their scheme around the players. They don't necessarily fit the player into the scheme. And that's the big difference here. You're trying to fit the player of Diggs and Bland and Wilson into your scheme, and it can't work that way. It's not working that way. You're going to have to fix a scheme and create one that goes around these guys. If some of the analytics that I saw that they blitzed 5 times yesterday, 5. I mean, I'm blitzing 3 or 4 times on a series with this defensive line and these corners and safeties the way that they're playing. I'm blitzing all the time. I mean, what do you do to a short quarterback? How about make him shorter? You can make him shorter. If you collapse the pocket on him, he becomes short. I mean, everybody does. He can't see over the line, especially when it's getting closer and closer that way. So I would have blitzed way more than that. And when you saw him get a little rattled, the ball went everywhere. It went incomplete. It went into the stands. He got rid of the football. They didn't make him do that enough. I thought that was a very, very bad way of attacking that offense. And I'm going to tell you this. If any quarterback and running back are both trying to get to 200 yards, that's not a good offense. And your defense should be able to capitalize with that. If Rico's trying to get 200 rushing yards and Bryce Young's also trying to get 200 passing yards, maybe you should take the running part away and see if this guy can beat you, because they shouldn't be equal like that. All right, Josh in Princeton.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Haven't been able to call the last few weeks, traveling and work stuff. But in spite of what happened yesterday, I've been wanting to call and and give Dak his props and his flowers for being prepared this season and the way he's looked. I've been a critic of Dak, when he hasn't looked so good. So I want to be fair and give him credit when credit is due. I know mostly everybody is going to talk about the defense today and how bad they look. I won't spend too much time on it, but if the offense has to be perfect and score every time they get the ball, I just don't see how we can win many games. And that's all I got.
All right, and they won't win many games if you have to do that every time. Like your offense just is not going to be perfect. I say that, I did go to the Arkansas Notre Dame game, and their offense was perfect in the first half. They scored every time. And so it's very similar. I'm dealing with the same type of teams on Saturday and Sunday, and it's not fun because you do feel that way. You feel like your offense has to be perfect, and so and they weren't. The biggest drive of the game, Cowboys' biggest drive of the game. The defense finally gets a stop down there, forces a punt. You're in great field position, and man, does this team miss Turpin? I mean, seriously, Turpin's an All-Pro. He's been an All-Pro, and he is an All-Pro. He's an All-Pro return man for the last 3 games now. With him being out, or has it been 2 games? But 2 games feels like 3. But there's so many opportunities to get these returns, and nothing's happening. And you just know that he can make a big difference. And so hopefully he'll be back this week. But my point is, the offense gets the ball, and I really believe that Schottenheimer, when he got the football, I guess it was with 8 minutes to go, maybe 9, when they got the ball back. I think that he thought that, maybe would run a little clock here, and they didn't. They got the ball 8:18 to go, and they're like, all right, they're at their own 46-yard line, with 8:18 to go, and you got the wind. So you're looking for a field goal. You're looking for a touchdown here, obviously, but you're trying to bleed some clock, and I think that's what went into it. Short pass to Javonte for -5, short pass to Javonte for -7. Lost 12 yards right off the bat with this magnificent field position at the 46-yard line with 8:18 to go. You turned it into a 3rd and 22 at your own 34, and you got a 4-yard pass to Lipke, and you punted to the Carolina 14-yard line. That's the game. It's the game. And also the times you're down there in the red zone, twice down inside the red zone after a big play by Pickens, gets you down there and you mess around and you kick field goals. And so those field goals ended up, losing you the game. Those field goals and then that drive. So, I hate to say the offense lost the game, but I'm just saying in the situation that is, the way it is, they have to score more. And they have to score almost every single time. All right, Michael in Utah is next.
Hey, Nick, how you doing today?
Hey, Michael.
Oh, man, this is frustrating. I feel like it's definitely a personnel problem, but I think it's also a coaching problem. Coming from the standpoint of, we're hearing the same thing out of Schottenheimer almost every single week, saying, oh, well, we need to do better, and we'll fix that. And I feel like we're just running into the same problems. Do you think something like this is fixable with our defense as bad as it is, and then our offense not doing what it needs to do versus a team like the Panthers? Like, I feel like we should have won by 20 points.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about 20 points. I thought it was going to be a tougher game, but I did think that the Cowboys could have won. And then watching it, I thought that they should have won. That's so bad about this is that, when the games are like close like that, usually the better quarterback's going to win you the game, and that's the thing. And that did not happen in this case at all. And so that's another frustrating aspect of it.
All right, well, I'll just lead off with this. Are we going to make any trades, or are we going to run with this team? And do you think it is fixable with what we have on the roster, getting everybody back with injuries? And, where do we go from here?
All right. Thank you for the call. I say it several times already. I've said about the trade. I think if there's a trade that works beyond this year, then go ahead and do it. I wouldn't make, I'm not trading for somebody that's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And if you do that, if you make that kind of move, then you're not talking about a first round pick. You're talking about a, 4th round, 5th, or something like that. For a guy that's just renting at this point, and the season's already, 6 games into it. So, if you were to get a guy like that, then you're trying to maybe put a Band-Aid on it and see if there's a situation of somebody that can help you. And that's why, I'm not trying to say, oh, glass half full here. Let's just throw out the facts. Okay, this is what you have. You have an offense that can put up a lot of points. Okay, they can put up a lot of points, especially if they were getting some help on defense, getting short fields, and maybe a turnover or two every now and again, a sack, forced fumble. Like when that happens, and then they can take advantage of it. They did get an interception, and the Cowboys went and scored. So give them credit for that part, but that's it. But I'm just saying, this defense is going to struggle. The offense, though. The thing about the offense is that they are capable of scoring points. And so when you ask questions of can they fix this thing, I don't need them to start, going from averaging 30 points allowed to 10. I don't need that. We really don't. You need a couple stops. You need to get off the field. Turn that touchdown into a field goal. Turn that field goal into a punt. Things like that. And that is a scheme fix here and there. Imagine what taking 10 points off the board for a game would be. I'll just do it 7 points off the board, and that's where you are. This team, this offense can go score with anyone, but you gotta give them some stops and give them some opportunities. That Chicago game. Well, the reason why that they didn't, Cowboys were down there several times, threw a couple of interceptions there late. They also had a 10-minute drive. The Bears had a 10-minute drive. Cowboys just couldn't get off the field. One time, 2 times, 3 times, get off the field. That could change everything. Let's go to break here real quick on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Fortnite fans, play the all-new Cowboys Kickoff Quest Secret Red versus Blue, powered by Lenovo. Search the map code 2679-7442-3940 at Fortnite.com to start your adventure. Plus, earn a secret code when you download the Cowboys app, connected by AT&T. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. We got Travis. He's in San Antonio. Travis, what's up?
Morning, Nick.
How are you doing?
It could be better.
Yeah.
Sure, we all could.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. Like you said, you've already been talking about, I think this is an all-hands-on-deck situation for the defense. Like, we're way past, having hurt feelings here at this point. I don't know if Dylan was talking about promoting White Cotton. I don't know. Promote White Cotton, Sorensen. Get with the guys. Say, what do you guys want to play? If it's a man-to-man press, people will say they're going to get beat anyways. Like, oh, cool. Then they're just going to get beat faster, and we get the ball back to our offense. That's what they were doing at the end of the game when they were trying to let them score. So you just got to figure, you got to all hands on deck. I think, Nick, there's a linebacker in the Bayou that played for a quarterback or for a coach that we used to have that, would probably be a day 3 pick, that he would be a rental, Nick, but he would certainly help because he'd be a dude in the middle of this defense. And then lastly, to the 2 plays you were just referring to, I was disappointed in those 2 lateral screen plays or sideways plays just because of what Shotty had said about it's about players over plays. And my only issue with it, Nick, was Pickens and Ferguson had been chewing them up all day. And my thought process in those 2 possessions or those 2 plays, I'm going to Pickens 3 times in a row if I have to and make them stop it. I don't think they could. So that was my disappointment there. Just want to see what you thought. I'll let you go.
All right, Travis, thank you. I totally agree with that part there. Again, about that drive, I kind of feel like he was trying to slow play it, but at that point in the game, I think you got to go with what's working, and what was working was Pickens. I mean, they couldn't cover him, and it was everything. That's been the most impressive part about Pickens is that he's run so many different types of routes, slant for a touchdown. How about that? I mean, just slant for a first down, but just beat all the angles from the other defenders and go and score a touchdown. 34 yards. 34-yard slant for a touchdown. That's like Jerry Rice. That's what I think of, is I think of Jerry Rice catching a slant and then just taking it right up the middle for a touchdown. So that type of play. And then like the comeback route where then he's just going to spin and go and spin and hurdle and jump and do all kinds of things. I mean, he just has so many different types of routes. Yeah, I mean, I think that they could have done that in that drive, and you know, and obviously in hindsight they should have, but nothing to Javonte was working. I mean, nothing. Even the little dump off passes. I mean, he was getting hit and tackled there, and I mean, there was no yards after the catch with him. It was a complete opposite of what we had seen before against the Jets, and really all season. I mean, all season we hadn't seen that type of running from him. And it's pretty unfortunate when you look at the Miles Sanders injury. Now Miles is out for the season. They put him on season-ending IR because he's gonna need, I think, a knee surgery. So Jaden Blue hasn't really shown anything yet. So you kind of wanted to have a little bit of help for him, and Miles Sanders had been that guy. He'd been the best one, and a lot of people wanted to see Blue. You've seen him twice now. You can't be impressed just yet. No, he's a rookie. He's going to get better. But, I mean, he needs to play, needs to kind of get in the mix. We know he's got some speed to him, so we'll see. We'll see what he does there, and, you know, if they've got any other options. But for now, you know, it's Javonte's show, and yesterday they just couldn't really lean on him. That was unfortunate. All right, Gabe is in Knoxville, Tennessee. Gabe, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
How are you?
Not much. Rough Monday. I'm for sure feeling disappointed like everybody is.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think there's obviously good things to take from this team. Even on the defensive side, we've got good players. It's just disappointing it feels disappointing how they're being used, I guess.
Yeah.
We got guys. I was listening to 105.3 The Fan this morning, and they were kind of saying how Donovan Wilson was just bad, just overall bad. And I thought,
yeah,
he had some good plays. I thought, you know, but it was when he was close to the line of scrimmage. It was when he was working in the flat or when he was covering lower. As soon as they made him cover, you know, the middle third of the field or do that sort of cover defense, that's when
he's an interesting player.
Bad plays.
He's because he'll make some really good plays for both teams, and so that's the problem with him. I still don't know if there's a coordinator out there that knows exactly how to play him the best way, because you know he's one of those. It's like one of those basketball players that's just a mismatch every time. On this end, he's a mismatch because he can do this and this and score, but down here he's maybe tougher. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. I mean, where do you play him?
Right.
If you played him at linebacker, they'd run at him all the time, and he probably couldn't hold up all the time. You put him in the deep part of it, he's just going to give up plays, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to make this comparison. It's a lot like Roy Williams, actually, back in the day at safety. You know, where do you play him the right spot? Because he can make plays, just not always consistently.
Right. So it feels like it comes down to Eberflus, like, I don't know, you manage your players better. Put them in the situations that they're going to do best.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't feel like he's done that. It doesn't feel like he's making the adjustments he needs to.
Right.
It makes, you know, I miss Wade Phillips. I mean, when's the last time we had a defensive coordinator, I feel like, where we were just
Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Right. I mean, he was the guy that you were like, oh my God, he's going to leave and take a coaching job. Like, he didn't take it. So, you know, it's Dan Quinn.
But even Dan Quinn had issues too, though. I mean, it started off great when the pass rush was working well. He had Micah Parsons, but then if the pass rush wasn't getting home, well then, and I know a lot of it has to do with the players too. Sometimes they're just not executing well. They're not doing their job.
But I'm not gonna try to argue with you, but I'm just saying, let's just point this point out too. Wade Phillips, right? Did he have a guy? I mean, did he have a pass rusher? Because I kind of thought he did in DeMarcus Ware. I mean, I feel like Dan Quinn kind of had a pass rusher in Micah Parsons, and that's the thing. And
that's true.
This guy does not have a pass rusher. He does not have anybody that can rush the passer consistently, and I am not saying, hey, it's okay, Eberflus. No, it's not. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good enough. We know that. Everybody likes Matt. Everyone that's known him while he was here the first time, everyone likes this guy, and I'm included. And that's what makes this thing tough. But if we're going to be fair and just compare other ones, just know the biggest issue is that do not have a pass rusher, and they don't generate pass rush, they don't blitz, they don't do anything to make the quarterback uncomfortable. And these guys are too good. Hunter Renfrow, those guys are just too good to find an open spot and say, boom, there it is. I mean, it's just it's too long. These guys have way too long.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
All right,
man. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Gabe. Appreciate that. Let's go to Bryce. He's in Burleson, Texas. Bryce.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I have actually a couple questions for you. So my first question, of course, is on the defense. Obviously, it's very frustrating watching what we're seeing this season. Do you think Jerry should use one of those number one draft picks to go get a pass rusher just because I think right now we don't have an identity, and with playing man, zone, going back and forth, these players are just not clicking. They don't have the IQ to play zone, in my opinion. And, Trayvon Diggs, he's wanting to play man more often, but in order to play man consistently, you have to have a legitimate pass rusher.
Right.
And then my second question is, with Pickens doing so good, because in the past we didn't have a second wide receiver that would step out when CD or number one would go out. Would you re-sign him like right now before obviously the market hits?
Well, we talked about this a little bit last week, and that question has come up a little bit. And don't forget, Pickens' agent is in the same group as Micah's agent with Athletes First, and so you're not going to sneak anything by anyone. Now, you're going to have to pay for market, and you're going to have to pay for what he's doing. I mean, because the agent's going to project out his season. So he's had a touchdown now, 5 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row or something. He's got 6 touchdowns through 6 games. So they're going to probably put that as a 17 touchdown season. So what kind of contract is that? I don't think you're going to get a steal. Go for it. I'd like to re-sign them, be great, but I think you're going to have to definitely pay for it. And as it stands right now, you're paying for top dollar. I mean, I even thought about that on the way home. I thought, I wonder if they might consider franchising him. Just to see. Yeah. That could be the case because he's been better than he's ever been
Lights
at Pittsburgh.
out. Yep.
Well, it's the best quarterback he's probably had consistently too, and
that is correct. Yeah.
So it's a great situation. I bet he would love to be here, but he's playing like he's on a contract year, and he's been great because the best situation for him has happened. Not only has he got to play some on the opposite side of CD, but he's also got to be the number one guy, and by the number one, he looks every bit the part of a number one receiver.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right, Bryce.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. And the first, thanks for your call. Your first question, we have talked about it several times, and without really throwing out names. I mean, do you go get a pass rusher? Do you trade one of your picks to go get a guy? I mean, it's got to be the perfect situation. Like honestly, like Green Bay, that's what they had. You need a younger pass rusher who's still going to be around for a while, and they already know that it's not going to work out at their team, their initial team. It's just not going to work. So let's move on and maybe get something for them. I mean, how many scenarios like that are there? I mean, obviously there was one with the Cowboys, and they had to pay top dollar for it. So you're obviously not going to get that kind of guy. But is there another guy that you already know is not going to re-sign with this team, and that they can trade him, and it's not going to be a huge hit on their cap? I mean, there's probably some guys out there, but man, it's got to be somebody that can make a difference. If not, then don't do it. Go get your younger draft pick in whatever position and do that. I mean, this got to be a proven player, and most teams like to hang on to those, but we're watching it that it's happened here, so we know it can happen. Rich in California. Rich.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Well, you know how I'm feeling today. I'm still feeling blue.
Sure. Yeah.
And I say that because to the point you made on our running back situation, yes, Sanders went out, but we need to get blue going north and south not east and west.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the success that Pollard has had. Hasn't done too bad out there. You've seen what Dowdle has done, not too bad. So, again, we can't give up on a guy on 2 games. And, again, we need to start going north to south the same way we're doing with Pickens, the same way we were doing with Ferguson. We can get blue that way. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see him a little bit more. I mean, I think we all would because he's got speed. I mean, if he gets into the open field, he can be dangerous. I mean, this guy played like 4 snaps in the preseason, did not get to play a lot. He was hurt, and then he just wasn't ready to play. And so he's practiced some, and it sounds like he's practicing well, but it's not game situation. Now, he did have a nice kickoff return going north, like you said, against the Jets. That was a good return. Again, I'd like to see him back there with Turpin, but that means he's going to probably have to block some. And if they kick it to blue, then Turpin's going to have to block some. I don't know if you really want that either, but I do think that he just needs to keep playing and he just needs to break one, like just kind of use, and I don't mean 80 yards. I just mean 10 yards, 15, 20 yards, a run like that, kind of give him the confidence that he needs. That all backs need that. All players need that at all positions. So he's going to get that opportunity. I mean, that's just, there's no doubt about it. He's going to definitely get in there. All right, let's go to Brian in Kansas City.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
Oh, man.
Tough.
First thing I said to Chris, man, that sucked.
Yeah.
God. Well, so here's where I'm most at with the defense. If you look at our defensive backfield, our starters, and I know Hooker's not in right now, but just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah.
If you take those 4 guys, they're all on their second Cowboys contracts. Other coaches and other schemes have gotten the best out of them.
Right.
To the point that they've all been re-signed by the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
This scheme doesn't fit those guys at all. And I know, like I said, I know Hooker's not there right now, but it's very obvious that it's not a talent issue in the backfield. Now, in the front 7, I think it's wholeheartedly a talent issue.
Yeah.
Our line, we don't even have one good linebacker right now. Not based on the play so far. And Demo's one guy. I mean, he's probably going to be better than anybody we got, but he's only one guy. We don't have anybody else to pair him up with when he does come back. And then in the front line, I don't know for sure. I don't know a lot about why they're not generating any pressure at all except for the Jets game.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just throw this out there, get your opinion. With Pickens, I think he's playing himself out of Dallas. He's too good. He's already too good for us to pay. He's going to get top dollar. Do you think we'll get a 3rd-round comp? I know it's possible to get a 3rd-round comp. I don't know how that works. If he plays like this, and he's not going to have the same stats because CD's coming back, but based on how he's playing, he's going to get a top-tier contract. Do you think we'll get a 3rd-round pick coming back out of that, and maybe it's a break-even rental? And I'll hang up and listen to that one, man.
Yeah. A lot of stuff there, Brian. When you go into your defensive back stuff, the question that I have is, and I think I asked this last week and just kind of said it out loud, but are we sure that Hooker and Bland and Diggs and Donovan Wilson, are we sure that this isn't who they've always been? It got covered up by Micah Parsons. That's where the Micah Parsons, that's why I'm recreating the diaper, 2.0, diaper 2.0. Maybe it is Micah. He covered up a lot of stuff. Are we sure that these guys weren't that way? I mean, I'd like to think that they're great on their own, but what my point is, without a consistent pass rush, and he gave you a consistent pass rush, without that, would we have ever seen the play that we saw from them? So I think what I'm saying is maybe it is needed to go get a pass rusher. Maybe that's what you have to do to save yourself. And it's got maybe a couple of guys. And I don't know if anyone's ever going to play their way out of Dallas. or out of any any situation, any team. If you keep playing the way like you play, I don't know why you would ever. I mean, we've already seen it once. The Cowboys traded away an outstanding player, and now that they miss him dearly, I don't know. If you're playing like this, figure it out. I know you signed CD, but figure it out because that's where you are. You have an offense that can put up a lot of points. So maybe it is something worth keeping. I just don't know if I believe that he's playing so good that you can't keep him. If he's playing that good, figure it out, because I don't know if the Cowboys are in the business of letting these franchise-type players go again. Let's go to break real quick and then come back and get a couple more calls. We'll be right back after this.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
This segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops concession and on Yeti.com. All right, let's try to get a couple more calls in. It's been a tough Monday here on Cowboys Storyline. As to be expected, it's what happens when you lose a game like that. That just didn't feel like that was one the Cowboys should have lost, but they did, and they did because they got outplayed, out-hit, out-physical, all of that. Still didn't feel like they were going to lose the game, so that's what's kind of crazy about it. All right, Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hey, I'm drinking out of my Yeti cup right now, the one that says Cowboys Storyline.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, it's a good cup. Yeah, man, I love it. So, we always talk about how crappy things get when we lose, and it does. It sucks, man. But you know what? It was still a damn good game, man. I mean, except for our defense. But that offense, they played their hearts out. I mean, I like what you said, and RJ said the same damn thing in the fourth quarter. He was like, Dad, why didn't they throw it to Pickens? And I agree with what you said. Mm-hmm. They're doing one to the side, then the little thing to Lipke.
Yeah.
But it was still a great game, most of it, really. We got an interception. And I know I'm a homer, man, but I enjoy the ride. I like to watch the game, and it was fun with my kid, and maybe that's why I'm enjoying it more. But,
yeah,
boy, I'd sure like to see us win at the end. You know what I mean, Nick?
Yeah.
It would have made it quite a bit better. But, hey, there's still hope at the end of the thing. I wish I was like Dylan or you or, smart like some of you guys. I just don't even know what we can do to get better. Is it the coaching? Is it the players? I'm talking defense, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
who knows, man? Pass rush, safety, middle linebacker, all of them.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
So you tell me what you think. We can fix it, and I'll listen.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I wish I had the answers too, but I mean, for me, it just feels like the quarterbacks are way too comfortable, and I'm okay giving up what you have to give up to blitz. Like I'm okay with that. I mean, because I think my guys can get there. Go back to the. No, I'm sorry. I think that they can cover is what I'm trying to say. You can blitz, but I think that they'll cover long enough. You don't have to cover forever when you're blitzing. Go back to that Philly game in week 1. The defense they couldn't stop anyone early. Then they kind of figured it out. And if you remember, Diggs was blitzing off the edge. Bland blitzed. I mean, they just showed different things to Jalen Hurts that we hadn't seen, and they got a field goal in the second half. Now, the offense couldn't score because they didn't. There was adjustments made by Philly as well, and they fumbled inside the 10. But my point is in that game we saw different things that didn't make Jalen Hurts so comfortable, and I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that here at all from what they're doing with Carolina. Let's get this last caller in, Michael in Ojai, California.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yeah. I called in last week, and I feel like I shot myself in the foot by mentioning Shotty's coaching up the injuries and whatnot, and then, here we go and have kind of a dud. But I wanted to try to be very kind of positive question and then positive here. I don't know. I assume you have the Wanye Thomas doc about him and his brother, basically. I know it was about the whole game, but I just wanted to give a shout out because that was pretty awesome. And I know it's a good piece of film when my wife is excited to watch something football related. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to throw out there, because we're talking a lot about the coaches. How much do you think our DBs are missing Al Harris right now? Because nothing against the guy that we have right now, but I feel like there's just been a shift. Obviously, with the changing coordinators, you're going to have a shift. But even just with the way that the guys are playing in their positions. And then I guess to end on a positive note, I do feel like if there's anything to take away from what's been a really huge roller coaster ride, it's that we got a lot of young guys, and you're going to have a bit of a roller coaster as they're learning. Like when you look at the linebacker core, the most senior guy, I think, is Kenneth Murray.
Yeah.
And he's in his fourth year, and he's in a new system now. So there's a lot of learning, and I get that they should be able to handle simple schemes and whatnot. But I don't know. I guess each week I'm trying to but react less to the outcome and look more for, what can hopefully be a growth opportunity for each of the guys. And hopefully by the end of the season we have an identity, considering that seems to be the biggest concern right now. And then, see what they can do, and not to write the whole year off, but then see what we can do in year two. And I'll hang up and hear what you think. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you, Michael. I mean, you're right. I mean, there is a lot of games left, and that's kind of goes back to the very first caller of the show, Dylan. And you could definitely tell the frustration there on his voice. A lot of you guys about, how do you fix this? We've seen 6 games, like it's not getting fixed, and it's not going to get fixed or whatever. Which my point is that I've seen teams that can kind of turn things around, and as far as turn around, a couple of things on just one side of the ball, and that's why I have some hope that it's not lost, because the offense is so good. The offense is good, and they're scoring enough points to win games. I mean, even 27 points is enough to win a game. They should have scored more, but it's still enough to win a game. You just need this defense to chip in a lot more than they've done, and that's just getting off the field a couple more times. Give me a couple more stops a game, and that, I think, could give the offense even more field position to go and do what they're going to do. So that's why I still have some hope here, because I do think you've got something great going on offense, and it's been just as bad on the other side on the defense. So if that part can get fixed and cleaned up just a little bit, then I still think there's hope that you're going to be in every game. That's one thing we know. You're going to be in every one of these things. So as the running back said, buckle up, and not just in this game, but for the entire season, because that's the kind of season it's going to be. All right. Tough Monday, but you guys did a great job. Appreciate that. We'll do it again tomorrow. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you tomorrow on Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.